we last talked about Justin Fields, he had a meltdown. He unfollowed the Bears. He said he was taking a break from the Bears on Instagram and then went on a podcast and went into detail about that. Sounds like a guy that wants to stay in Chicago who ain't going to stay in Chicago. So we're hearing the cost, if you would like to acquire Justin Fields, is actually going down. It is not going up. It is going down as the first wave of free agency gets going soon. Now, some say that you can get Justin Fields for a first-round pick. Others say a second-round pick. Some say a third-round pick. Conditional draft picks have been tossed out. The teams that need quarterback include the Atlanta Falcons, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Tennessee Titans are on the big board, the Raiders. But wouldn't that be funny if the Raiders hired Justin Fields, offensive coordinator, who failed in Chicago, and then hired Justin Fields, got Justin Fields in a trade? So let us discuss. The question, though, as we talk about this, is the price tag on Bears quarterback Justin Fields, is it really shrinking? Okay, is it really shrinking on the trade market? So I've got the Louvre, hostage negotiation, and officialdom. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a compass, which is part of the LA Clippers' new logo, a compass. So to kick off the festivities here, in terms of the question, is the price tag on Bears quarterback Justin Fields really shrinking? I don't believe that the price tag was ever as high as the clickbait army said it was. I've never bought that. We've talked a lot about Justin Fields, both here on the radio and then when we did the TV show during the football season. And I never got the he's worth a first-round pick. I know there's some fanboys and brown-nosers on social media that worship at the altar of Justin Fields. But for those that are even mildly objective and have no skin in the game, it never made any sense. Now, there's always a sucker out there, so maybe the Bears can find one to give up too much. But the casuals who are going around saying that Justin Fields is worth this, that, and the other thing, tell me that you've only watched Justin Fields highlights on a TikTok video and without telling me, right? That's pretty much where we are. If you've actually watched the Bears and you've watched Justin Fields play more than a highlight video, then you know, all right? You are aware that this guy ain't it, right? He hadn't been it. And imagine, if you will, visiting the Louvre there in Paris, right? The famous museum there in Paris. And you're looking at all the extraordinary works of art. I mean, right over there you've got a Van Gogh. You've got Rembrandt. You've got all the legends, right? Picasso, whoever you think of in the art world, Da Vinci. They're all there, right? They're all there. They're all hanging out, doing their thing, and all that. And then Justin Fields, he's a Monet. Justin Fields is a Monet. Now, a Monet is something that looks better from a distance, and the closer you get, the worse it looks. That's Justin Fields in a nutshell, and that's why I don't believe that his value is as high as some of the early reports indicated. I just don't buy it, because when you get closer, you see all the flaws and the imperfections of Justin Fields. His internal clock is broken. He hibernates in the pocket, takes way too many sacks. Well, the Bears have a bad offensive line. Not that bad. Justin Fields has started 38 games in his NFL career. He is historically terrible. He's been sacked 135 times in 38 games. But wait, there's more. He's got 30 interceptions and 38 fumbles. That's 68 turnover-worthy plays in the span of 38 starts. And he's actually supposedly gotten better, even though his numbers were almost identical year to year from the previous season, and this was going to be the MVP year. He did win the MVP. It is true. Justin Fields won the MVP of the offseason, last offseason. But unfortunately, when the game started, he sucked. All right, turning the page. Speaking of sucking, Alligator Arms Murray is back on our radar. Yeah, remember him? Yeah, sure. So the Arizona football team, for some reason, posted a bunch of photos. They had a bunch of photos of Kyler Murray, better known as Alligator Arms Murray on this show. They posted them on social media, and they put the text, "Our franchise quarterback." Franchise quarterback. So why did the Cardinals publicly have to reaffirm their commitment to Kyler Murray? Can you explain that? So this was a flashback, right? This was a flashback to a couple years ago when Josh Rosen got the similar treatment. Remember that? And Cliff Kingsbury was the coach, and he gave the endorsement to Josh Rosen, and then he was dumped in 2019. Boy, it's been 5 years, man. How time flies. But on the surface, it's just some low-level social media Poindexter who's tweeting out a little love note to Kyler Murray. It's completely harmless, completely benign. But I disagree with that opinion. I disagree that this is just, it's nothing. It's a nothing burger. I think there's something more to it. I think it's a little deeper. As I psychoanalyze that particular message on social media, I'm saying, well, wait a minute. There is something more to this than the eye leads on here. Kyler Murray has low self-esteem. He's got low self-esteem. That's why they sent that out, right? I'm just spitballing here. He probably lost some Call of Duty tournament somewhere. He was devastated. The Cardinals tried to cheer him up, so they sent out a comment on social media. And Kyler saw it, and he smiled a little bit. Went back to playing video games. And that's how he gets ready for the season. But Kyler Murray, this is a hostage negotiation at this point if the Cardinals want to get rid of Kyler Murray. They gave him the keys to the kingdom. Now, he had a little, like a little key because he's not that big a guy. But he still had the key. He has the key to the kingdom. And Kyler Murray was given, for reasons beyond belief, a king's ransom. Arizona committed nearly $250 million to Kyler Murray through 2028, just a couple years ago. And so Murray, given all of that money, there is no reasonable escape hatch for the Arizona football team until 2028. Now, I'm a salary cap truther, and you can get rid of any contract if you want, but you'll have to eat a lot of crow and have a lot of barbecue sauce and all that. So for better or worse, in this hostage negotiation, Kyler Murray, despite needing positive reinforcement on social media, he is hogtied to the Cardinals for 4 more seasons. 4 more seasons, unless they can find the ultimate suckers package and trade him somewhere to like the Raiders or the Patriots or the Falcons, someone along those lines. All right, parting shot. We now go to the always exciting rules of football. And if you're like me and you watch a lot of football, I assume you do. You listen to a sports talk radio show at an ungodly hour. So if you watch a lot of football, at least once or twice a season, you will come across a game where some numbnuts will fumble the ball right at the goal line. The ball will go out of bounds. We saw this for Kansas City against Buffalo in the NFL playoffs. And what happens if you fumble out of the end zone? That is correct. The ball gets turned over to the other team, and they start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. They assume every fumble will go to the defense. If you fumble out of the end zone, the assumption is that the ball is going to go to the other team, even though it's a 50-50 possibility. We know that fumbles are 50-50. It depends on where on the field you fumble. Depends on that. Depends how many players are around, obviously, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, state-sponsored NFL Media, the mouthpiece of Roger Goodell and the billion-dollar empire of the NFL, they tell us that there is, quote, not much traction, even though there are meetings going on in Indianapolis. There is not much traction regarding the rules about fumbling through the end zone to change them. The play that doesn't happen all that often, but when it happens, you start screaming profanity at whatever you're watching, saying, what the heck? And they immediately award possession to the defense. As we said, it's a touchback. So why is it so difficult Why is it so hard to change this rule from immediately awarding a touchback and change of possession to using some level of common sense? Why is it so difficult to change the fumble in the end zone rule? The answer, after a minutes-long investigation here, is because the NFL is infected with officialdom. You've got a lot of blue ribbon panels and a lot of muckety-mucks that get together, and they run up their expense accounts, but it's the competition committee that says it's the ball carrier's responsibility to protect the ball. And this is more evidence of the bureaucracy of football. Now, what I have recommended in the past, if you've heard the show over the years, is the penny. I would like the penny to be a part of this. Since a fumble is a 50-50 opposition, 50-50 possibility, and I look at this like, hey, you should just give the ball back to the offense, but they're not going to do that. I don't think they're going to go all the way in. Rather than a touchback, which is a turnover and give possession to the other team and all that, I would put the ball back at the 20-yard line if it was up to me and give the offense the ball back, but they don't gain a first down. Whatever down it was, if it's third down, you fumble out of the end zone, it's fourth down from the 20, maybe you'll kick a field goal. But as a compromise, I am willing to bring in my friend the penny from Benny versus the Penny, the TV show, and you can flip the penny up in the air, and then if it lands on heads, it's the home team, lands on tails, it's the road team, as a compromise. Meaning, when the running back fumbles the ball in the end zone, they flip the penny up. Or you could do possession arrow if you want. You can go possession arrow. That's another way to do it, which they've had in college basketball over the years. So there's different ways to go about it.